Okay, Sabo, is this what we're really doing?
Check. Okay, we good. Yeah, what it do? It's your boy Sabo World, and y'all are tuned in to another episode of Produced by Sabo World, man. Appreciate y'all for tapping in, tuning in. And before we get this show started, we just got to do a real quick drop for our sponsors, who we appreciate so very much. Hey, so check it real quick. We just want to take a minute of time to give a huge shout out to our sponsors for ensuring that this podcast is comfortably and correctly recorded and edited, as well as properly distributed so that we can provide an enjoyable listening experience for our listeners. So our first shout out goes to Georgia State University, located in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. Secondly, we want to give a huge shout out to Creative Media Industries Institute, also known as the CMII building, also located on Georgia State campus in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. The Creative Media Industries Institute builds connections between creative students and the entertainment and information industries. Its focus is on advanced technology, workforce training, building a national model for media, entrepreneurship, and collaborating with media and arts industry partners. This is where creativity happens, and this is where our home studio is located at. And last but not least, we want to send a huge shout out to Lump Made Publishing, LLC, for being one of our distributors and making sure that this podcast is available for your listening ears, no matter what platform you decide to use. And now, let's get back to the show. So, like I said, man, welcome back to another episode of Produced by Sabo World. This season has been, just been moving along. We've had some dope interviews. Of course, just regular podcast episodes with myself speaking. And I'm looking forward to completing this first season just with continuous support from you guys listening, ladies and gentlemen, who are tapped in, tuned in, sharing, liking, subscribing, whether you're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, the Anchor app. No matter where you're listening to it at, man, I just want to say thank you for being a part of my journey this far with something new for myself. This week I did have a topic initially for this episode. But after this week that I just had this previous week that just went by, I wanted to touch bases on something that I think is very important for everyone to understand, no matter what your purpose is, no matter what walk of life you're on, no matter what your creative endeavors are. And that is, sometimes you got to cry through the pain. And sometimes you got to cry all the way to the end. You got to cry to the finish line, man. A lot of times, man, things aren't fun. Things aren't going to be as enjoyable as one may desire. There will be times where, it's money not there for you to pay bills. You might not have enough, food to last you for a full week. You might not necessarily know how you going to even put enough gas in your car to get to work for the week, man. You lose friends, you lose family, and one of the toughest ways of losing a person that you care about is not even when they die, but when this person that you care about is still alive and you have to cut ties with them for whatever the reason may be. We're not going to dive into that today, but for whatever the reason may be, you may have to cut ties with the person. But if that person isn't dead and you have to leave that person alone, you have to stop communicating with that person, you have to stop seeing that person, and you're so used to being around them, you're so used to talking and laughing with them, you're so used to just always having access to them and vice versa, and you have to make a decision to cut them off for your growth or just for the growth of both parties. You know, you may agree to disagree, but you both come to an understanding and a realization that this relationship, this friendship, or whatever it is can no longer be. Man, that's one of the most painful things to go through, just for me, because I think it's just easier to accept someone dying more than it is to accept somebody is still alive and you can no longer have access to them. It's just like, I know that you're still here. I know that you're right around the corner. I know that you're, but we can't kick it no more. We can't talk no more. And that's painful, man. But all in all of what I'm saying is, on this journey, man, there's a lot of things that can cause us hurt, that can cause us pain, that can cause us to cry, that can cause us, to lose sleep, lose our appetite, can create headaches, can cause us to become confused, can cause us to worry. It can cause, so much happens that causes fear. But what I want people to understand is no matter what happens, no matter how you feel, no matter how many tears you have to shed, you have to keep going. It's a must that you keep going, because if you stop right now, right here today, just because you feel bad, just because your heart hurts, just because you're crying, like everything that you've built thus far, the foundation that you've already laid out and created, all of the ideas that you've actually followed through on, all of the knowledge that you gained through living through experiences, all of that will go to waste if you stop today. If you choose to give up today because you're hurting, because you feel pain, because you're sad, because you miss people, if you choose to give up today, man, like tomorrow you'll feel even worse. And not just tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. Imagine 5 years from now, after you chose to give up today. You choose to give up today. 5 years from now, October 24th, 2027, you'll be looking back at October 24th, 2022, and be like, what the fuck was I doing? What the fuck did I give up for? You'll resent yourself. You will resent yourself, because you will know deep down inside, had you chose to keep going through that pain, had you chose to keep fighting through those tears, had you chose to continue to go until you reach that finish line, life would be totally different for you. You know that your level of success would be higher. You just know that there would be so many things that would be better for you had you not given up. And that's what I'm encouraging everybody today, man. I don't know what you may be going through. I don't know, what situations you may have on your back, what stress you may have on your shoulders today. So I'm not going to tell you, not to feel anything. I'm not going to tell you that you shouldn't cry. I'm not going to tell you that you shouldn't be mad. I'm not going to tell you that you shouldn't be sad or upset. If people did things to you and you believe that they were wrong, it's okay for you to feel how you feel, but don't allow those feelings that from those people doing things to you to allow you to stop. You might be crying today. That's okay. If you in your car listening to this and you got to scream, let it out. Cry. But make sure you get to where you're going safely and you continue the journey. If you're upset and you want to break something, go ahead. I mean, don't break nothing too expensive. Don't break no bones. Don't hurt yourself. But if you need a moment where you just want to go outside and take a bat and just swing at the ground for a while, go ahead and do that. Let that anger out. But don't allow that anger to stop you from doing what you need to do today. Because at the end of the day, man, we all trying to get 1% better. We know that. That's the goal. We got goals we trying to reach. We trying to see our levels of success for, it's different for every individual. But I want to encourage everybody to keep going, man. Like I said, I don't know what anybody's going through today. But don't allow what's happening right now, today, to stop you from seeing your successes for tomorrow, man. It's been so many times that myself, I've gone through things and sometimes it really wasn't even that bad, honestly. Just realistically speaking. Some things I allowed an emotion that lived for 5 minutes to determine a decision that impacted me for life. There have been times where I've allowed sadness to overconsume my mind, and because of that energy controlled my way of thinking. And I made decisions that weren't helpful for me or for others. There's been times where just disappointment, being discouraged, I allowed those things to, veer me off of my track. And I'm at a place now, I'm almost 30. I'll be 30 in January of next year. And I no longer want to be who I was. For me, I know it's a part of becoming a man. For women, it's just for us all, though. Excuse me, it's just a part of growing up. Entering into who you're called to be. It's a part of that. And for myself, I don't want to be who I was last year. I don't want to be who I was 5 years ago. I don't want to be who I was 10 years ago. And every day I'm just working to become a better version of myself. And this is one of the things that has been very tough for me. I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. This has been very difficult. And this past week was one of those times where I noticed a lot of growth within myself. Just because, like, last week was a week where, I'm riding to work on Saturday, just a few days or 2 days ago, and I'm driving to work, and I'm just listening to my beats that I've been cooking up, just hearing how the mixes sound and stuff in the car. And as I'm listening, I just start talking to myself. And as I'm talking, I don't know what comes over me, but I just start talking about a lot of things that were festering inside of me, things that were just making me mad, things that hurt my feelings, things that, honestly, it made me cry as I was driving to work. You know what I'm saying? And after I had my little moment to feel my feelings and honor my feelings and to, get some of that shit up out of me, I just kind of sat in silence for a moment. And I continued on my way to work. And I kind of chuckled and smiled a bit because I can think back to, like, being in high school and knowing there are times where I have to go to work. And I would be upset. Let's just say it might have been my girlfriend said something or did something that it just blew my high for the day. It just had me 38 hot for the day. I'm knowing damn well I need to go to work to clock in. I call them folks and tell them, oh, yeah, I'm sick, I can't make it. What the fuck? What the fuck? And it's just that mindset. I know for sure, like, I'm outgrowing that mindset. And I'm thankful for that because I'm at a place now where I can't afford those no call, no show. I can't afford to call in. I can't afford that. I'm at a place where I can't afford that now. And like I said, I was just thinking about it as I was riding in silence, man, just noticing there's been a lot of growth with me, a lot of maturity with me emotionally, mentally, just constantly trying to grow into who I'm called to be. And man, if you're going through a rough patch right now, if today is tough, if yesterday was hard, if you know tomorrow gonna be one of them days too, man, look, man, find your way to let it out. Like, honor your feelings. Don't let nobody tell you aren't supposed to feel how you feel. We are all entitled to our own feelings. If somebody did something that hurt your feelings, man, tell yourself that shit hurt. It's okay. Let it out somehow, some way, but you gotta figure out a way to keep going. You gotta figure out a way to keep going. Because the world don't stop spinning just because our feelings are hurt. Businesses don't shut down just because your feelings are hurt. Schools don't stop running just because you're mad. You know, things don't just stop just because you have some bad feelings on your back right now. And I'm not saying fuck those feelings. I'm not saying fuck what you got going on. What I'm saying is you have to find a way to keep going. If it takes crying through it to get it done, cry through it. If it takes not really speaking to people to get through it, to get it done, by all means, be quiet and get it done. If you're one of those people that just have to separate yourself from the world, don't let nobody make you feel bad about that. You doing what's best for you because you know you're trying to get some shit accomplished. As long as you're getting that shit accomplished, fuck their opinion about how you handle it. However they forget how they view you and how they feel about how you're handling and managing your life if you're getting things accomplished. Get it accomplished. Get it done, man, no matter what it takes. No matter what it takes, man. I really hope that, you know, this message for this pod was pretty clear. You know, I'm gonna keep being honest with y'all because that's all I know. Honesty has been one of my biggest strengths. At times, maybe even my biggest fault. But I'm gonna keep it honest with y'all, man. You know, I freestyled this one. Didn't really have no bullet points. This one was just one of the ones from living my experience this week, man. This past week, because like I said, it was one of those weeks, man. It really was one of those weeks. It wasn't an easy week. One of those weeks that I'm thankful that I could look back on and be like, damn, I got through it. I got through that week and I accomplished so much more than I even needed to. I accomplished so much more than I even needed to, and I just wanted to talk to y'all about it, because I don't know who may need this. You know, I know right now it's tough times for everybody. You know, money's tight for a lot of people. You know, expenses are constantly rising on everybody. You know, a lot of people might not be creating new ways of passive income. So, you know, a lot of people are just kind of like going through the motions, man, and that can cause you to kind of like have doubt. It can create a little bit of fear, and I don't want anybody to live in doubt or live in fear. I want to continue to encourage people, like, you got to have faith. You got to believe, but you got to still do what's necessary in order to increase your faith. You have to do the work, you know, to know that, hey, man, I know what I'm doing is going to work because I'm doing what I need to do. And as long as you're doing what you need to do, man, there's no need to fear. There's no need to doubt. We're human, so that's a part of the game. That comes with the territory. But you have to do your part to eliminate those things. And your part is waking up thankful no matter the circumstances, no matter your situation. If you have a roof over your head, if you have clothes on your back, and you have food in your belly, you have every reason to go out there and get shit done. You have every reason to accomplish things. If you have your necessities taken care of, forget your wants. As long as you have your necessities, you have the ability to get up, get out, and go do something. If you've already listened to, the first few episodes of this podcast this season, then you already have your plan. You already have your ideas mapped out, where you're going, how to get there. So at the stage we're at right now, if you have all of those things, right now the only thing you need to do is figure out how to get to the finish line. I'm not sure how many people are familiar. I'm more than sure that a lot of people have seen like the I think it was like a Nike commercial or just motivational videos of this Olympic runner. I believe he was British. Excuse me, but his name was Derek Redmond. I believe his father just passed away recently too. But it's one of those videos, man. If you're highly empathic, you might shed a tear. It's a tearjerker. But the race is about to start. I'm not sure what race he was running, but it was in the Olympics of 1992, I believe. The race is getting ready to start. Runners are getting down. Pow! Gunshot goes off. Everybody's running, taking off. That's my running sound. But everybody's running, man, and next thing you know, Derek Redmond pulls his hamstring in the middle of the race. And all of the other runners, they continue down the track in their own lanes, and the race is pretty much completed after a little bit longer. And Derek's out there. He's out there crying on the ground, man. He gets up. He tries to complete the race. He just tries to continue moving. He tries to continue running, but he falls back down, and it's so much pain. It's unbearable for him. He pulls his hamstring, and I'm more than sure that there's feelings of embarrassment, feelings of inadequacy. I'm sure there's some resentment. I'm sure there's just all types of emotions circulating in his mind in the moment. I'm sure that the tears were not all just from the pain of his hamstring. But as he gets up, he continues to go, and next thing you know, his father actually comes from the stands to help pick him up from the ground and help him to carry on to finish the race. A very, very inspirational video. And it's real, a real life experience, man. And like I said, his dad's helping him hobble along down to the finish line, and Derek is crying, and he has his hands over his face because it's just he's crying. But what he does in the midst of so much pain, embarrassment, so many different emotions, he does what he has to do to cross that finish line. Now, of course, he didn't win that race as far as running against other racers, but he crossed that finish line, and metaphorically, man, that's just what I want everybody to understand. Right now, I don't care if you're crying. I don't care if you're mad with whatever. I don't care if you're embarrassed about your circumstances in life. Right? I don't care. Get to the finish line. Cross that finish line. Whatever the finish line looks like for you, get past it. Cross it. If you got to hobble, if you got to crawl, if you got to roll, cross the finish line, man. Don't allow your emotions to take control of you. Right now, I've said before, right now is the time to double down. Our faith has to be stronger than anything right now, no matter what you're doing. Because it's going to get tested. It's going to get tested whether you want it to or not. Now's the time to double down. Believe. Put the work in and get shit done. But I hope this episode was helpful for somebody, man. I just want to say one more time, I appreciate y'all for tapping in, tuning in. Continue to send questions in. Check us out on the YouTube channel, produced by Sabo World, the Instagram as well. And y'all keep sending topics in. Send different people y'all want to hear interviewed on here, different topics, like I said. And that's pretty much it for today, man. I hope y'all have a great day, great night, great evening, wherever you're at. Hope you have a blessed day, blessed week. And yeah, Sabo World signing out. Chill!
Okay, Sabo. Is this what we're really doing?